Hello and welcome to the Coffee Shop Show brought to you by Explore Protech. Steen's having a fat laugh at me because we're doing that going into the show like, okay, 10 seconds and this is happening. And anyway, moving on. Welcome to the Coffee Shop Show. Here we sit around and have a discussion like you would with anybody in a coffee shop around a topic, and our panelists join in and share their knowledge with us at the same time. So before we hop into that, we're going to get to that whole part soon, but I'm sure you've heard of it by now, this awesome community movement that we're all behind. It is called the Fempreneur movement. And we're going to be talking about actually today's topic, which is the actual reason for having the Fempreneur course and what's that all about. So we'll find out those details. But at the same time, part of it is creating a movement in the community. And to do that, we're doing some great things actually just to create visibility. We've got a Facebook page which has some amazing unique content and things available for people. The link for that is down below. And we're also running competitions. Now, there's one running at the moment, and this is a big one, especially if you're feeling that I'm struggling, I need a coach. Well, this is a perfect competition for you. And I'm going to tell you very, very soon how you can actually enter. But let's have a look at how it all works. So I'm going to put on the screen, this is actually on the Fempreneur group itself, and it's the details for the current competition that's running. So what you could win is 4 by 60-minute coaching sessions with 4 absolutely amazing coaches. It's valued at $500, and that falls under the one coach is Marlena, who takes care of your mind, and she really just an amazing person when it comes around to life alignment, Enneagram, and being a facilitator. She really's got an amazing energy. Then there's Rita Skuman, who coaches with heart, and she takes care of your heart. And really, I mean, Rita gets into it for you. She really uncovers those areas that you weren't aware of and getting you to know yourself a little bit better. Speaking of yourself, well, Kathy Williams, and she's an amazing master certified life coach, and works through inspiring change through positive actions instead of bad habits. And then Mr. Stephen Levy, the coach in the world, he is absolutely brilliant. We've had lots of privilege working with him, talking about leadership and supporting leaders globally. And you know, even if you're not a leader of a team, you need to be a leader of your own life and in control of it. And Stephen Levy is absolutely brilliant at doing that. So it's an amazing competition. For free, or win 4 60-minute coaching sessions, the value of $500. So I quickly wanted to have a look. Oh, there was the leaderboard, and it seems to have disappeared from me now, but I'll scroll down and find it because I know. See, look at all this amazing content that we have on the Fempreneur group. And as I'm scrolling down, I'm not seeing the post that I saw this morning.
The leaderboard is in the post that you were just on. It's just in the description.
Oh, there we go. I went past it. That's why I couldn't find it. Well done, Chris. You're winning first prize on a Monday. So currently we have a leaderboard of people, and I'll show you how you earn your points. There's ways to earn bonus points. There's ways to earn points in the Fempreneur group. There's with commenting, there's ways to win or get points today on the show. In fact, everyone who participates in the show and here, they get some bonus points. If you comment on any of our streams, you get some bonus points as well. But looking at the top 3, it's Martie's in the lead with 52, Somerville closely behind on 48, and Janine Lingenfelder's in 3rd place with 43 points. Now, to qualify to go into the draw for this amazing point prize, you need to have 35 or more points. So Megan is in the running, Hendrik is, Suzanne's very close, Natasha's very close, Chris needs to up his game. He's only on 15 points. So he's going to get working on that. In fact, while we're talking about it, let me show you how you can get your unique link that you share on all your channels. And that's how you earn your points and stack them up. So I did it in incognito mode this time. And the link is also available below in the description. It takes you through the whole process, what prizes we've had, what's coming up. And as well as last week, we gave away that lead generation prize, which was amazing. But you fill in your details, you say sign up now, and you get a unique referral link. Now, what do you do with that referral link? Aha, I've got a new screen share for you to show you what to do. So a simple example, I hopped onto LinkedIn and I have the wrong tab open, but let's see if I can fix that. But I hopped onto LinkedIn and I found one of my contacts, and all I did was type up a very simple message while the alarm's going off in the background. But anyway, very simple message. I said, hi, Shireen, I'm getting behind a fantastic community and movement that is all about fempreneurs. As part of the awareness drive, we are running some amazing competitions. Here's a link to find out more. I put in my unique link and have a look and hope you find something of value. I will now send that off to Shireen and she will get a message. Then if she opens the link, I get points. It's as simple as that. And it's really all there to draw awareness to the Fempreneur Course, the Fempreneur movement. And it is time. I've covered everything. It's time for us to get into the main conversation for today, which is the reason for the Fempreneur Course. And to do that, I'm going to introduce Peter and Christine, who are going to take over the reins and take the conversation for us further.
Chris, you're amazing. Can we please give Chris like a bit of a woohoo? Chris, you're the best producer in the world ever. Thank you so much for making our YouTube shows so special. So I just want to remind everybody, we are here because this is the coffee shop show for entrepreneurs. This is where for just over 2 years, me and Peter brings together entrepreneurs from around the world every single week. Like literally every week we create this space where for 1 hour different entrepreneurs from around the world can just connect, share insights, have a bit of a chat, and it makes all of our access to market bigger. It's about making the circle bigger and about sharing our insights and helping each other win. So it's amazing to have all of you beautiful entrepreneurs here with us today on the show. I want to remind everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you see an entrepreneur that you really enjoy, that you love their character and you love what they got to say, they're available for you because we made them first. We found all the best entrepreneurs in the world. So we're going to be listing all their LinkedIn links for you in the show description. All you need to do if you want to connect with them is go connect on LinkedIn and send them a message saying, I saw you on the show. Can we please grab a coffee? And they will be so, so happy to do so. So, yeah, that's what we're here to do. Today's topic, what is the reason for the Fempreneur? Peter, do you want to lead us into this topic?
Wow. Good question. You know, the one thing that has always been almost like a bit of a myth, why do we see learning institutions and spaces the way we do? Some of those things I don't understand. And I think from my perspective, because I'm quite uneducated, I'm not the one with the degrees. I'm not the one with the masters. I'm not with the one with papers to back my name. And if we look at the way institutions are going, it looks like they're going backwards. Entrepreneurship seems to be one of those things that people seem to have to learn on their own. There seems to be this space where you go to a varsity or you go to a college, you get a degree, you get yourself into debt, huge amounts of debt. You work yourself to the bone, learning and grinding and pushing, and you end up in debt. And what was the point? What was the point of that? What are we actually trying to do?
Well, you're supposed to earn millions of dollars when you get your salary. So
supposed to.
That doesn't happen anymore.
But is that guaranteed? It's not really guaranteed, and that's kind of the problem. So creating a space where we can take people that have walked the journey of entrepreneurship, that have actually failed, learn from their failures, putting them into one space where we can take fledgling entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs, put them into one space where they can learn from each other and guide each other in that space. I think that's extremely powerful.
I just want to remind everyone that our Fempreneur course is facilitated by entrepreneurs from around the world that have walked the journey. And what makes our program so special is that we have put all of our entrepreneurial heads together to think, how can we get access to education to entrepreneurs out there that literally they don't have the education. That's why they're not making the big bucks. So now how are they supposed to pay for this course to help them make the big bucks, but they don't have it yet? It's like a chicken egg, omelet situation. So our thing is we have crowdfunding people on board. We're like, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't let nothing stop you from doing what you want and getting what you're supposed to get in life. So we have crowdfunding options in place. We have partners on place. If you come to us and you want to do any of our Fempreneur levels, any of the courses, you can just say like, okay, well, I don't have the money yet. That's why I need to do this course. Can you put me in touch with some people? And we'll be like, yeah, let's teach you crowdfunding. Let's show you how to crowdfund your fees.
Let me just add to that. You know, most places that you will jump into, you get given material, you learn, you study, you get tested, and once you are tested, they go, congratulations, you have passed. They give you a certificate, they pat you on the back, and they send you into the wide world and go, best of luck. Best of luck. Now you are on your own. I think that's backwards. I think that's backwards. I think it's wrong.
But that's our opinion, right? And this is supposed to be a coffee shop chat. So I want to hear from our other entrepreneurs in the room. Tell me, what do you guys feel about access to education for entrepreneurs? The reason for the Fempreneur course? How important is it to support our entrepreneurs right now? Literally anything you just want to add to this discussion. We're so keen to hear your thoughts. Mr. Chris, you're up first.
Boom, and I had my fingers ready because I was excited. The big question is why not have a Fempreneur course? I think we could have a longer conversation around that. Like, why not? Let's be honest. The world has changed completely. The way of doing business has changed completely. How many of the entrepreneurs that we work with at the moment are struggling because they're doing it all by themselves, and then they get part of a community and people help them out, and then they learn, and then suddenly they're like, but actually, this is how we do things. So the world's changed. We need to learn how to do business in this new world. And it's not the old stiff upper lip suit kind of boardroom way of doing business. It's different. It's unique. So that's what the whole Fempreneur course is around, is not only just for women and a few cool guys. It's actually about learning the right way to do business in a clever, smart way in this new crazy world. I mean, it's such a crazy world that a lot of our own tribe members can't join us live because they don't have electricity, or some's internet's down, or even people overseas are struggling to connect. I mean, that's the world we live in at the moment. So why not get behind a movement where we're all behind each other, some awesome women, some cool guys, and we're just doing some great business and learning the best ways to do it. I think that is reason enough. I can't think of any reason why not to have a Fempreneur course. That's it for me, Chris Colby from Live to Dream, and I help your company increase its net profit at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Chris. Awesome to hear from you as always. Hendrik, let's hear your thoughts.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I joined late, but I was busy with clients. So I grew up in an era where you were taught that you get a qualification, you get a job, and that'll be your job for life until you retire. And then, of course, I chose to become a creative and an actor. And that, of course, there was no guarantees at all. So my life has been really about being a freelancer. I've had some sort of full-time jobs here and there, but not many to speak of, and not all of them lasted very long. So entrepreneurship for me is quite a new experience. I really only got into it when I opened a hypnotherapy practice in 2011. And then I was trained in hypnosis, but also had no clue how to run a practice because it was not one of the modules ever taught to us. And now that we've started Bed Media, it really is a crash course for me in how to become a businessman. And I've realized that even though I've got 40 years of experience to draw on, and having done some amazing projects, I lack several skills. One of them being sales. I probably can't sell a bar of soap to a dirty guy. So it's an amazing opportunity, and thank goodness I have the wherewithal to upskill myself constantly, and not just go like, oh, I know it all, don't worry. And having an amazing partner in my son who also pushes me, and I push him, and we're learning as we go along. But looking back at my education and my children's education also, entrepreneurship is not really something you learn at school. I know the kids had at some point had a entrepreneur day once every year where they had a little stall, but that was really it. And I think it's such an important life skill that's being missed. So Fempreneur obviously is an important tool that we need to use. But how do we also target children that are currently writing matric and that are, going into the job market next year? There are no jobs. And really this country needs entrepreneurs, people to start small businesses. As difficult as the government makes that for us, how do we empower the youth? That's really my rallying call today. How do we get this course in front of young people that are just starting out and need these sort of lifelong skills that are crucial to their development and their future life? If we can get all these young people that are sitting in the townships and at home that really don't know what to do and are just waiting for a handout or a government grant of 350 Rand that's not going to mean anything. Surely a course like this is super important for that demographic. And I would be interested to see how we target it at that audience and what results we can get and what projects we can run and how we can create internships for these people in our little companies and go like, well, I can teach you at least a few things. I can't maybe pay you much, but I can give you 1,000 Rands worth of skills. And maybe you can, if you prove yourself, maybe you can work yourself into my company. Who knows? So that's really my little contribution this morning. I'm Hendrik from Bain Media. We are content creators with a podcast first approach. Thanks so much.
Hendrik! Wow! Massive contribution. Are you volunteering? So I just want to get this on TV. Are you volunteering to be the face of the Kidpreneur, Hendrik?
Teenpreneur. Let's call them teenpreneurs. I like that.
Teenpreneur. Deal. Guys, you saw it on YouTube. No one can take this away. It's recorded. It's written in blood. So thank you, Hendrik. Hendrik is like, why do I even still show up at these things? I think that's massive. And that is what gets me so excited about entrepreneurship, hey? Like I always say, like if you can teach someone an entrepreneurial skill, you can you can take them and dangle them upside down, like down a cliff, put them in a country where they've never been, like throw circumstances at them that they've never seen, and they will figure out how to make a living. Not only that, they'll figure out how to make a living for themselves, and then they'll figure out how to make a living for every single person around them, because that's just what entrepreneurs do.
Yeah, but here's the thing, figuring it out. Even just that statement is, we send people into the wide world and they've just got to figure it out. It's this thing of, are they supported? Do they know where they're going? Do they know what opportunities they have? Do they have the skill sets to actually take hold of those opportunities? They may be educated or they may be uneducated, but there are still opportunities of both learning. And so the difference in this space is that it's not about creating a space for people to learn and go into the world and figure it out. It's about creating a space where there is a community of people from around the world, that they come into a space, they get to figure it out within the community, and the community gets to support them in what they want to achieve. And I think that's the vital difference, is the community. This is not about creating a course with just information and then going, well done, and sending people out there going, we hope they succeed.
Good luck.
Good luck. Pat on the back. This is about creating a space where it becomes a movement that people are part of. They have people around them, so that when they go, oh, I can't quite figure this out, there are people that are around them that can go, actually, well, we've been there. We can help you figure it out. Or we can do this together. Or, hey, look, here's an opportunity. Or, let's do this. When you involve a community, and I'm talking about a global community, the opportunities become so much bigger. So it's not just a course, and it's not just a process, it's a movement.
Massive. Love it, love it, love it. Let's hear from some of our guests on the show today. Joseph, can't wait to hear from you.
Hey, good morning. Oh, good morning, good afternoon. I have no idea. Good evening. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at, but uh, I think I look at this as being new to the scene a little bit is the approach that even if you're working in somebody's company, you really write your own check, right? So when you think about entrepreneurship, sometimes it's kind of like, oh, it has to be outside. I have to be on my own. But are you an entrepreneur where you're at in your own company, solving a problem, thinking outside the box? And I think a community like this allows people to make the migration, right? So I'm still working, I'm in industry, I'm in a factory, I see a problem, I see something that bothers me every single day. How do I go about fixing that problem, right? And that's entrepreneurship, right? That's problem solving. And but then what's the next step, right? How do I know what's the next step? I know maybe going to my boss isn't the next step because they don't know, they're in the system. They can't think outside, the box they're in, right? And now you have a community like this that then empowers people like myself or anybody else, right? That were in a company at past, but surrounding themselves with a community of entrepreneurs that then allow them to start thinking like that, right? Thinking like, when you take on knowing that you're right there, somebody assigns it, but you determine your own value in any situation, that's an entrepreneur, right? And then going about that, finally making a transition to go out on your own or start your own company or start your own consultancy. I think Fempreneur or a community that's actively doing it versus just books and tape, audios, or whatever it is, which are fantastic, right? Mentors from a distance, um, gives us gives people a better chance to succeed at making that step, especially that fast transition. Once you've been out for a while, you've taken some punches, and then you can, then you can, then you can be that mentor. But at that beginning, give you the confidence to start making the transition in I don't like the word safe space, but I kind of have to use it in this regard. Making with some guidelines, people who've been there, right? So you can avoid your own landmines in a sense. Like, you don't have to. You're gonna step on your own landmines. Some of them you create yourself, but at least you can avoid most of it, right? And I think this is what a community like Fempreneur and Protech does. So um, that's my motivation is going. Joseph, business consultant, and check me out on LinkedIn. That's the easiest place. There you go.
Thank you so much, Joseph. What a debut on the coffee shop show for the first time ever. That was amazing. And I just want to say you touched on something that I'm super passionate about as well, which we haven't mentioned yet, entrepreneurship. So I might be way out there in my thinking, but again, this is my opinion, right? I believe that the world of employees is coming to an end somewhere in the future. I cannot see how that is a model that is going to be sustainable in the future. Even now, we have about 7 people on our payroll. None of them are employees. They're all entrepreneurs. They all write their own checks, and it allows them to have freedom in pursuing kind of like what they want to do within their role. And it allows us to have people that are working with us towards our shared goals.
Because it's a shared vision.
But they really take responsibility, and it's like the shared. It's just like I've tried the employee route before, and I'm not gonna go. Some people get it very right, okay? Some people are obviously phenomenal at it. I think this is such a new model, and Joseph, that's why I love it. Like bringing entrepreneurial skills to even to employment. I think that could make such a massive, massive change in the bottom line of so many organizations out there. So, and definitely for the people themselves, because it feels good. It feels good when you realize that you write your own check, you make your own life, you decide your own goals, you create your own vision, you create the world you want to live in.
Yeah. You know, and for me, I had the privilege of having an amazing conversation with Sharon. Actually, we had quite a long and an amazing conversation. And I think, Hendrik, what you were saying earlier about how it's almost our responsibility to take those that need the skill sets and need the change and show them that change. And Sharon is one of those people that is actually doing that. I'd love to hear your comments or your thoughts on this conversation.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon. So for me, I will tell a story. In 2016, I had a job, a beautiful job. So one day I lose my job, you know. So this job was my source of income. I had people benefiting from it. So I lost the job. And then I lost the job in December 2017. So I go home, I was stuck. You know, it was December, a festive season where you spend money, take care of so many people, and then, you know, you just lose your job like that. So when I lost my job, I remember I was really scared because I had never been unemployed. And the reason why I lost my job was very basic, I should say. You know, I was helping someone. It's a long story for another day. So I had a sad December. I spent the money like always, but I was sad. So December goes down and then we go to January. People are resuming work. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I need to survive, you know? So I looked around and then I told myself, what can you do? How can you get moving? How can you continue taking care of yourself even when you don't have a job? So I said, okay, what skill do I know? How can I use my skill to, you know, to make a living for myself? So the only skill I had then was baking. So I'm like, okay, so Sharon, you can bake. How can you use your baking to make money? So I told my sisters about my baking. I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to start baking. This is my strategy. So I remember that around the same time, I moved out of the streets. I went to offices. I went to retail shops. I went to supermarkets, selling myself to a product I actually didn't have. So the most interesting part is I meet one of my customers, and then they're like, okay, so we need this now. I'm like, okay, you need this now. I tell them, okay, going to give me a few minutes. I'm going to go and I'll bring it. I had nothing. So I go out, I tell my sister, I've gotten a customer and I need this. So they're like, okay, what do? We start rushing, we pick this, we pick that, we pick this, we pick that. You know, we made it. That day, remember we baked snacks, we baked samosas, we baked cupcakes. We made sure they were so good that the customer would make another bigger order. So I baked, I delivered. Yes, I was late, but they loved the baking. So they're like, awesome, we love this. Can you continue supplying for us? So they gave me a contract to be supplying to them breakfast snacks at their office of about 100 people. Yo, that was my startup. I was very excited. Like, I could not believe my bold move got me a customer, you know? So now after I'd gotten their order, I was like, no, I have to first work with this one as I improve so that I can market myself more. I started off. That marked the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey. So with that skill, I got my first customer, and then my next customer was actually very big. I got the United States Department of States in Uganda gave me another contract. I know how to talk, so I kind of marketed myself. So they gave me a contract to supply snacks for a project in a certain island, a project I was part of. So, you know, I never looked for another customer anymore because now I had the other customers, and then I had the American Embassy customer. So, you know, I never went out again. So that marked the beginning of my journey. So I want to say, for me, the reason why entrepreneurship is important, especially female entrepreneurship, it's because we women entrepreneurship are creating a better tomorrow for everyone. Imagine my driving force was the people that were behind me, yeah? Because I knew if I work hard, I can continue supporting the people I was already supporting, supporting their well-being, supporting their health, supporting their nutrition, supporting their education, So that was my driving force. If I didn't have the driving force, I don't think I would have done that then. So I believe when women succeed and succeed, they're most likely to invest in their families, their communities, and the ripple effect goes beyond just the family and stuff. So I feel like it's very important to venture into entrepreneurship and also again to support the women in the entrepreneurship because we have the future behind us. Thank you.
Can everyone just quickly unmute and give a standing ovation to Miss Sharon for sharing that story?
That's if you're wearing pants, because this is Zoom.
Don't stand up. Sharon, that's amazing. And please tell us, what is the name of your business right now?
It's called Dolce Bakery.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So just a minute. So Dolce has grown. With the kind of work we do, we now skill girls in communities, those that don't have, money, that don't have a source of income to support themselves. Our target is the teenage mothers because teenage mothers struggle to take care of themselves and their children. So when we skill them, we are able to get income for them. They're able to make money for themselves and their children. So that's our target. But of course, we also supply every other person. But our end goal is the skilling other people who are not like me, but who are in a position like myself to be better for themselves. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. And I just want to thank you for the work that you're doing. And wow, how amazing that you are here today, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is why, that's the reason for the Fempreneur Course. That's why we created it. I can so closely relate to that story, Sharon. I got forced to resign from my job about 7 years ago, and like literally when you were speaking about it now, I wanted to cry because I remember, like, you tell the story now and you're so proud and you're like, look what I did. But the reality is, when you go through that and you're a woman alone,
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, guys. This is the reason why we're doing what we're doing, and I'm so happy to have people like you in the school today. You're absolutely amazing. That's the reason for the course, the entire course and everything. So yeah, I mean, how do we even move on from there, guys? I want you to remember all of these magical, amazing human beings that you're seeing on the call today. We have their LinkedIn links linked in the description below for you forever. It's from us. It's our gift to you. We're connecting the best entrepreneurs around the world with each other. So if you want to grab a coffee, go and just click on there. Just say, I saw you on the show. I'd love to have a coffee, and see how you can support these people. And who knows, maybe they end up supporting you in turn.
Yeah, no, I think if we look at ourselves and we look at our lives and we look at what we're trying to achieve, what are we doing? Are we leaving a legacy? Are we creating something for the future or our own futures, or are we looking to help benefit the futures of others? When we have done our time on this planet, it is like pushing time, but when we've done our time on this planet, are we making a difference? Are we creating something that leaves behind something that benefits everybody else, or are we just pushing through to gain as much success for ourselves as possible? I for one would like to think that whatever we create will create a space that will continue without me. Something that the generations that follow will grab hold of, will push even further than we could possibly ever take it, and that the generation after that will push it even further than we could possibly have thought in our wildest dreams as to how far it would go. But in order to do that, we need to start creating the platform and the space and the community that will grow. At the end of the day, this is about community. And yes, we have communities all around the world. We have communities in Africa. There are communities within the States. There's communities in the UK. But now we're all online. So now we have the ability to create a global village, a global community of people from around the world that actually support each other.
Mm.
Why would we not do this? This is a space where we can lay the groundwork. We have the privilege to lay the groundwork. So let's do that.
Yeah, you know what's more powerful than one woman making the world a better place? It's many of them in the same space, connected to each other, doing the same thing. So, anybody want to add to the conversation while I'm being super emotional? By the way, for you, those of you that joined us just now, you need to go and rewatch what we just saw. That was amazing, incredible. Chris.
You always come to me so quickly, and I can't click fast enough because my mouse is dodgy. But anyway, it is very true. There's so much that one can take away from today's conversation. And something else that I was thinking about is looking at reasons for the Fempreneur course. Here's a simple example, right? And we're talking about under the scope of entrepreneurship. If you want to learn how, or if you want to fly a helicopter, you don't just climb in it and start pushing buttons and hope that you can fly. You get a manual, you go through a course, you do lots of different things, and that's how you learn gradually. If you just get into the helicopter, you might get somewhere, but you're going to crash at some point. So that's also a really good reason for the Fempreneur course is learn how to fly the helicopter before you get in it, and then you don't hurt yourself as much. Obviously, there's still your risks and things, but learn from the best people, because also the courses you go through is not just somebody who once read a manual on how to fly a helicopter. They've probably flown a helicopter. And now with the Fempreneur course, it gets even better because you're not just going to have one type and style of instructor. It's made up of amazing different types of coaches from different disciplines. So in this analogy, I suppose it's a very masculine analogy that I'm talking about, I guess. But anyway, you've got a fighter pilot, helicopter specialist. You've got a commercial, you've got all the different ones that you need to give you the best rounded picture of entrepreneurship and what it is to be a fempreneur in one place and one space. And basically just learning how to fly without having to worry about crashing.
I like that.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Chris. Someone else that's super passionate about access to education for entrepreneurs is Lesecha. Lesecha, do you want to talk to us about why it's so important and why is it so close to your heart to bring education to entrepreneurs?
Where do I start? From the beginning, in the middle, or towards the end?
We have about 5 minutes for you, sir.
That's not enough. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Joseph. Everybody needs at Somerville. Hello, Mr. Bird. Hello, Anthony and Chris. Nestin and Pira. Hello, guys. All right. So the reason why I'm so passionate about educating, especially the entrepreneur, besides educating learners at school, which I did for some years ago and I left it, is so that when we go forward, we're not going forward blindly. As Chris mentioned now, if you want to learn to fly a helicopter, you've got to learn from somebody that has done it. I mean, I can't fix cars, so I cannot teach you how to fix a car. I can teach you how to drive because I've driven before or I'm driving. So if you want to learn how to run a business, You learn from people that are in business, that have run their businesses or are running their businesses. They have failed and came around the corner again and then restart or started again. You know, those are the best people. And I think within the tribe, we've got so much experience of people like that. And I'll just give an example about Hendrik, Mr. Bird. You know how much it takes for you to start your business, push it through, and then if it fails, what do you do? To make sure that you redirect your business, because you don't want to fail in your business. You want to be successful. So who are you going to relate to? Within the tribe, there's so much experience. And this is the experience I'm relying on going forward. So it is important to learn. I mean, doctors do not learn from teachers how to become doctors. They learn from doctors. You know, that's another simple example that I can give. Salespeople learn from salespeople. And if I need anything, if I need to learn anything about systems and being a virtual assistant, I'm going to go to Somerville. That's the person that relates to me, that has done it, is in it, and should be able to teach me. And I say teach with a purpose. Teach me how to do it. Because she's going to give me that education for me to not fail so that I can succeed. That's my 2 minutes worth. Thank you.
That's Lisetra Mokau from Radio Pulpit. Lisetra, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining us and for giving us that tidbit of information. I think that was very, very valuable. Anthony, I'm keen to hear from you. Do you have anything you'd like to add to the pot? We're just chatting education for entrepreneurs. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I joined the conversation pretty late, so I had issues using my my Zoom account, so I had to use my wife's Zoom account. It's a commercial Zoom account. So, education for entrepreneurs, I believe it's a step in the right direction, because I think, as the previous speakers did mention, we all do need to learn from the best, and it will be what shall I say? It will be easier on your part learning from someone who has done it and failed, so that you compress your time of trying to relearn. You know, you try to compress the time and make your work very, very easier and simpler. So I think education for entrepreneurs is very important. However, I think this Fempreneur thing, I would want to bounce it off my wife, because she's also an entrepreneur. She doubles up. She works corporately and she has a side hustle, and she sews kids stuff. You know, so I'd want to introduce her to this course that that is being run or held. So I'll contact you, Nestine or Peter, to follow through on the course. Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
so much, Anthony. And that is it Pastor Anthony?
Yes.
And your business name, Anthony?
My business name, it's Ahava Enterprise.
Nice.
Brilliant. Guys, if you want to connect with Anthony or any of the other entrepreneurs that you've seen in this call, please go and do so. All their LinkedIn links are in the description on our YouTube channel for the rest of our lives. It stays out there because we're helping to round up all the best, most fun, authentic, caring, teachable, safe entrepreneurs around the world putting them in touch with each other and seeing what a better world we can create for all of us.
And just a reminder, at the end of the day, it's all about community. So, that's where it starts. It starts with community. It starts with real people.
Chris, should we hand over to you to wrap up?
Yes, and here's a good place to start as well. Discussing the finding out more details about the Fempreneur and all of that. Well, guess what? The links are down below, actually, in this video on YouTube. I'll post the link very shortly in the chat, and you can go check it out and join the Fempreneur Facebook group and all of those details. So it's all there for you to start with. And to wrap, that brings us to the end of the Coffee Shop Show conversation, brought to you by Explore Protech. We've been talking about the reason for the Fempreneur course. That's what we're all talking about at the moment. Links to find out more is down below. Links to go and register to get your unique link that you can share far and wide, because this is a movement, it's a community. It's not just about a course. We're growing the exposure, and we want to bring as many people to the table to come see and be a part of this Fempreneur community and movement. So go click on the link below, get that unique referral link, and share it onto your social media. And then you get points as you do that. You get points for being here. Everyone who contributed today gets points. People who comment on the Facebook stream and the YouTube stream and the LinkedIn stream, if it actually worked this time, and all of those ones. You comment on there, and then you get bonus points as well at the same time. Those bonus points go towards the amazing prize we're giving away. Is it next week already? I can't believe it. Which is a coaching bundle. It's 4 coaches, 4 16-minute coaching sessions. It's worth $500 US. Amazing coaches: Stephen Levy, Kathy Williams, Rita Skuman, and Marlena Nunes. I really should learn how to pronounce her surname, but it's 4 different amazing coaches that are really going to help you from 4 different areas. So you need to get those points up so that you can be in the running to win that prize on the show next week, Monday, because we do this every single Monday. Because why do we do this? We're trying to save the global economy one small business at a time, and we all do it together with just being lacquer and with love. So that wraps it up from my side. Remember, click on the links down below, subscribe to our channel, share this video, share your unique link, share, and let's grow and change the world.
Awesome.
May all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. See you again next week and every single week for the best entrepreneurs around the world.